They built pyramids, just like the Egyptians. They ruled an empire that stretched along the Nile. They defied pharaohs, and even became them. Yet today their names are barely remembered. This is the story of the kingdom of Kush, of Nubia's silent kings, whose tombs lie hidden not in desert sands, but beneath water. What secrets did they take with them? And what happens when archaeologists dive into their lost world? South of Egypt, in what is now modern-day Sudan, a mighty kingdom once rose. The kingdom of Kush. Overshadowed by its northern neighbor, Kush was long dismissed as a footnote to Egyptian greatness. But in truth, it was a powerful civilization with its own kings, gods, language, and pyramids. Kushite rulers reigned from cities like Napata and Meru. They built hundreds of pyramids more. In fact, in Egypt, in the 8th century BCE, the Kushite king Pi conquered Egypt and founded the 25th dynasty. For a time, all of Egypt and Nubia bowed to a Nubian pharaoh, but history is written by victors. The sands of time buried the story of Nubia. Nestled near the fourth cataract of the Nile lies Nubia Royal Cemetery, unlike any other. Here, more than 80 pyramids mark the resting places of Kushite kings and queens. Yet many of these tombs have remained sealed for over 2,000 years. In 1913, American archaeologist George Reisner began the first major excavation at Nuri. He uncovered many wonders, but one tomb stopped him in his tracks. It was partially flooded, dangerous, mysterious. It belonged to a king named Nastasen. Over a century later, a new team of archaeologists returned, led by Dr. Pierce Paul Kriesman and underwater archaeologist Kristen Roney. The goal was bold: enter the flooded tomb of Nastasen and uncover what lay within. Sudan 2019. Temperatures soaring. Desert winds relentless, and, beneath a crumbling pyramid, a flooded shaft leads down to a sealed chamber. It is both a time capsule and a grave. Using surface-applied air, the team descends. Their lights pierce the water, mud, rubble, darkness, and then gold. Delicate sheets of gold. Foil preserved like ancient tissue paper. A Shabdia funerary figurine, carved in the king's likeness. Had this tomb been untouched for 2 millennia? It seems so. Ironically, the very water that scared off earlier archaeologists may have saved Nastasen's tomb. Climate change, dam construction, and irrigation have caused the Nile's groundwater to rise. As a result, many tombs at Nuri are now flooded. But this water created a barrier, one that looters, grave robbers, and even time could not easily cross. In a region where pyramids often attracted plunder, Nastasen's final resting place remained sealed. Inside, archaeologists found clues not just to the king's burial but to his life, his beliefs, his kingdom. The story of King Nastasen is more than just one tomb. It is a window into a lost world. The Kushite kings were not merely imitators of Egypt. They were innovators, warriors, builders. The gold, figurines, the architecture all point to a rich and complex culture. And yet for generations, Nubian history was ignored, misrepresented, or stolen. Now, Sudanese scholars and international archaeologists are working together to reclaim that legacy. To tell the world that these pyramids matter, that Nubia mattered. In the silence beneath the sand and water, a voice calls from the past. Not in words, but in stone, in gold, in the stillness of a king's untouched tomb. It calls us to remember, to listen, to rediscover the stories we thought were lost, because sometimes history doesn't vanish. It waits. Subscribe to hear the voices that history tried to silence, because the past was never dead. It was only buried.